On 28 February 1985, the six-month house arrest imposed by the military government of Muhammadu Buhari on the Emir of Kano Bayero and the Ooni of Ife Okunade Sijuwade Olubuse II officially came to an end. Hello and welcome to Today in Nigerian History on Tarihi TV English. I am Modi Rabiu Kodebi. The crisis began in August 1984 when Emir Bayero traveled to London. While there, his friend the Ooni of Ife invited him to join his annual pilgrimage to Mount Zion in Israel. Although Nigeria had survived diplomatic relations with Israel in 1973, in line with the position adopted by the Organization of African Unity after the Arab-Israeli War, the two traditional rulers proceeded with the trip after first stopping in Cyprus. They flew from Nicosia to Tel Aviv aboard Israel's national airline. On arrival, they were unexpectedly received with full state protocol. Israeli officials had arranged an official reception for them, and they later met with the Israeli leaders, including President Shem Herzog and Prime Minister Yitzhak Shamir. Emir Bayero maintained that this visit was purely religious. He spent extended hours in prayer at the Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem, and later told journalists that he had come strictly on pilgrimage. He also expressed concern about the condition of the mosque and called on Muslims worldwide to support it. Back home in Nigeria, the visit triggered serious diplomatic controversy. At the time, Nigeria's military government had just strengthened relations with the Palestinian Liberation Organization (PLO. The Foreign Affairs Minister, Professor Ibrahim Gambari, publicly stated that the visit had been undertaken without the approval of the federal government and described it as an embarrassment. The controversy affected Nigeria's relations with Saudi Arabia. The Chief of General Staff, Brigadier Tunde Idiagbon, was preparing to perform Hajj, and the Saudis had promised him the exceptional privilege of permitting him to pray inside the Holy Kaaba. They, however, stated that they were unable to receive him, certain security concerns arising from the visit. On their return to Nigeria, both monarchs faced sanctions. They were removed as heads of their respective state councils of chiefs. Their passports were seized. They were placed under 6 months house arrest. Emir Bayero was also removed from his position as Chancellor of the University of Ibadan. There were also indications that the federal military government considered dethroning them to demonstrate that no one was above the law. However, some senior military officers intervened, and the punishment was not extended beyond the 6-month restriction. The episode remains one of the most dramatic moments in Nigeria's modern history, where traditional authority, religion, and military diplomacy collided. For more stories on the major event that shaped Nigeria's past, follow Tarihi TV English on YouTube, Facebook, and TikTok.